Whilton Mill, one of the fastest kart tracks in the UK, with lots of high-speed corners and plenty of overtaking opportunities throughout the track. But because of this, a few weeks ago Whilton Mill changed the last sector of their track to make the track more safe for MS UK races.
Got two drivers who have come together down at the final corner. There was a kart rolling with no one in it. The driver had just come out of the car at the final corner there.
And today I go up there with Hannah and Kevin to take part in an Ultra GP night to see how the new chicane works with the track and if it improves the racing or not. An Ultra GP night consists of a 5-minute practice, 3 10-minute random grid heats and a 10-minute final, where we'll be split up into an A and B final at the end. This format, along with the damp and changing conditions, really brought out some great racing all night, and it's going to be one of the best nights of racing I've had for a very, very long time. So, let's see how well this new chicane is and how well I get on. Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video where you see we're at Whilton Mill in the dark. We didn't start off dark because I'm filming this intro after the whole everything that's happened. But yeah, we're here at Whilton Mill for an ultimate GP night, Ultra GP night, whatever it's called. So yeah, so quick rundown, it's just a 5-minute practice, 3 10-minute heats and a 10-minute final. Obviously we're here to try out that new chicane over there, because I want to see what it's like, see how it mixes up the racing. And yeah, I'm here with Hannah, I'm here with Kevin. Dom unfortunately couldn't come. Big man himself. Dom unfortunately couldn't come, which is meant to be him as well, but unfortunately he's in hospital, so Dom will get well soon. Yeah, let's quickly get to it, because a lot of action. It's going to be a great video, I know it. So yeah, let's get into it, and I will see you in the car for practice. So here we go then, I'm coming out then for the first 5-minute practice session. And so not what happens in this practice session. What I'm going to be using this session for is just learning whereabouts on the track is wet and where's dry. As you can see, coming through turn 1 and turn 2, it is still fairly wet out there. But it does start drying out towards the Zulu section of the track, as we will be using the Zulu layout as opposed to the international layout. I'll also be using this session to learn this last chicane as well, which is also pretty wet, as there's a kart that's span on the right hand side there. But like I say, not a lot happens in this session at all. The only real major talking point is just getting this overtake done on the kart ahead as we come down the inside of Christmas corner and get it done nicely. Coming to the end of the session then, checkered flags be not waved, and if we look at the results, I do manage to get 3rd position out of our practice group. So hopefully we can take that into the first race and get a good result. So here we go then, race 1. We're starting in 3rd position for this one, so we're starting at the front as the green lights go on. Try and give my car a little bit of a push as it's not getting the best start. We unfortunately do go down into 4th, but we are going to get 3rd position back off the car on the left hand side as it's nice and wet coming into this first couple of corners. Guy on the right, then he is going to get through, but I do manage to get past the guy on the left hand side who did start in pole, so we are still into 3rd position. Coming up to Christmas corner then, thinking about the inside as we do get the position made on 2nd position on the left. So as was up a position from losing the position, try down the inside, then a 1st position into the Zulu layout, but unfortunately we are just a bit too far behind. But we now know our target of trying to get into 1st position, because we do believe we are quicker than the guy. But as like I say, we have a quick look behind then, see where everyone else is, and luckily they are battling it out. So that does create a bit of a gap then between 2nd and 3rd, so I can concentrate on trying to catch up to 1st position. And like I say, because this is a new last corner then, I'm still trying to learn it. Fortunately, don't get the best of corners that time coming into lap 2, but we are starting to catch up then on the first couple of corners. Look down the inside, give the guy first a little tap, but luckily nothing bad came out of it. Look behind, see where everyone else is, and try and position my car on the inside as it does look nice and dry, but unfortunately I'm just a bit too far behind to make any position work. So if we skip forward then into the start of lap 3, coming through the first couple of corners, the guy in front then does get a bit sideways, and luckily I get a much better run coming out of turn 2, which propels my car right side by side coming up to Christmas corner, get the move done, and that is us up into 1st position. Have a look back, see where he is. I don't have to defend coming into the Zulu layout, So luckily for us, that is us into first position. Now I've got 7-8 laps to try and defend first position. But if we fast forward the footage then to the end of lap 3, look on the right hand side, we have got a kart there, and it isn't the same kart that I did overtake getting to first, as we really used the inside then of turn 2, which unfortunately is still very wet, and it does propel the kart to the very edge of the track. Luckily we don't go off, so we do manage to fight another day. But if we're going to skip the footage then all the way to the end of the lap, as we start using the inside curve then at the last chicane, and really go wide on the outside of these curbs here, which unfortunately was a mistake on my part, as it's still very waterlogged in them curbs, as my tyres are now very wet, which unfortunately does send the rear very wide. Unfortunately I do lose first position then, so we are in second position as we do a bit of a switchback, as his kart really seems to be a lot quicker coming into Christmas corner, and I'm just alongside enough to reclaim first position at Christmas corner. But coming into the Zulu section, I look on the right hand side, and unfortunately he does manage to put his kart in the right position to get back past. He does leave the space coming into Zulu 1 as we're side by side, but fortunately I just weren't alongside enough then, so I do lose first position. But as we come up to the back marker then, he's going to defend for whatever reason. First place gets through, and I'm thinking I could take advantage by going around the outside, but unfortunately the back marker just completely cuts across the track, which unfortunately blocks my way and does create a big gap between me and first position. But coming into lap 7 then, you can see just ahead then there's another back marker that first place is going to catch up to. Now he does actually get caught behind him coming through turn 2, and I get a much better run out of turn 2, so I do claim first position once again, but I don't really want to take the position like that, so I do wave the guy back through. If this was a mega competitive competition, then yeah, I probably would have kept first position, but because it's just a random night of Wilton, you know, I just thought I'd let him back through, so I didn't really want to take the position like that. I'll close the gap up fine enough, but yeah, I didn't want to take the position, so I let him back through, and someone's obviously decided to put the barriers on the last corner, as that is a race 1 completed, and that is up for position into second. And yeah, good race overall, and so Kevin did a very good run. If you see, he finished in 5th, making up 11 positions. So let's go on to heat 2 and let's see how that one goes. And the sun's gone out for race 2 then, as we wait for the green lights as they finally come on. Unfortunately my kart just bogs down at the start, so I do lose the position down into 14th. Got a couple of karts on the right hand side then wanting to make their way past, but luckily this time I managed to fend them off for now. As we go through corner 2, there's a nice dry line in the middle which I use, but we just get absolutely just surprised by the guy on the right hand side, so we're down into 15th. Coming up to Christmas corner, trying to find my way past, but it's 4 wide going up to Christmas corner, and there's just no way through. Unfortunately I get overtaken on the left hand side by a couple of karts. That is just down into 17th. But we do manage to make a position back up. Coming into Zulu, a kart spun there, and we also managed to make our way around the outside of that kart as well, up into 14th position. So now the next aim is to try and get past the guy in front to at least get back into starting position, and we get a much better run outside of the Zulu. So we're now back into 13th. There's a couple of karts spun on the right hand side there, so we're now up into 11th position. So we went down to 17th, back up into 13th in the starting position, and we're going to end lap 1 in 11th position. So technically made up 2 positions, but we did sort of, you know, gain 5 positions down from 17th. But if we come into lap 2 then, are we going to take any more advantage of this group ahead? As we take this dry line coming through at turn 1 and turn 2, guy on the right hand side, left hand side spun outside another position, and we're going to get this guy who jumped us at the start coming up here in the last lap, and we're going to get him just before Christmas corner. And a couple more karts then going slow, get the guy on the left hand side, we're up into 8th, and we're going to get the guy on the inside coming into Zulu in the red suit, which we do manage to do, block him off at the exit. So it's us now up into 7th position. We're making these positions up now, so that's 6 positions up from the starting position, and we've got this guy in a white suit ahead who we have a feeling we are quicker than. And as we come through the newly improved the boot, we are going to start gaining on the car in front then, as we're going to try and take all the curb down on the left hand side, as we do get a much better corner than the car ahead. But as we're coming up to lap 3, we sense we've got a bit more pace in our car as we do get him on the inside. He completely left that door open, and I'll happily take advantage of that one. So that is now up into 6th position as we fast forward a little bit. A car on the left hand side there. Luckily it's just a back marker, but we do manage to get our way through and skip forward a few more laps then. So we're now on to lap 5 and we've got 5th position up in front of us as he looks behind and I give him the thumbs up, you know, just to let him know that I am indeed there. Coming up to Christmas corner, he's going to leave the gap on the inside, but unfortunately I'm just not quite close enough to take the advantage of that one. Coming into the Zulu layout, he's going to leave the door completely open, and of course I'm going to take it. Luckily just before this yellow flag as well, so we do manage to get the move done. As you see on the right hand side there, we've got Kart spun. We've also got Kevin there on the right hand side as well, because I was so shocked to say it was up in 4th, and I was so shocked that the guy behind me I just overtook actually does me around the outside coming into that last section, which to be fair was a very, very good move. But we're not shook by it too much as we know we've got more pace than this car. Like I say, we did catch up to him for the last few laps, and we do know we have got more pace. So coming into lap 6, and how quickly can I get past this car? There's a car on the left hand side there, and so the car ahead, then he is going to get a bit sideways through turn 2, but because of that I'm just going to get a much better run coming up to Christmas corner, and I'm just going to completely squeeze and just give him enough room on the outside, and we do indeed get the move done. So we're now up into 4th position, 9 positions made up from our starting position, and now we just got to make sure that the car behind isn't going to get past again. I'm also going to try and catch up to the top 3, which I don't think I will be able to, but we do catch up to a few back markers, which we're hoping they're not going to get in the way too much as we get to this fluorescent yellow helmet car ahead. Getting nicely done at the exit of Zulu, coming up to the boot, and got another one ahead as well. If we do skip forward into the final lap, we're going to catch up to him at turn 2. He's going to get a bit sideways. There's another car down the left hand side as well that did go off at the exit of turn 2. Like I say, hopefully he's not going to give us too much of a problem as we come up to Christmas corner. Just going to get him on the inside and luckily get it straight past without too much trouble. And there is the end of race 2. We are in 4th position, 9 positions made up from the starting position. Like I say, we're down into 17th at one point. So a really good race and one more heat to go before the final. Here we go then, heat 3, final heat of the evening. Starting at the back of the pack for this one, but we get a good start then as we jump the guy in 18th position. So we've made up a position off the line coming into turn 1 and 2. There is a lot of cars ahead of us, so it's going to be having to fight our way through, try and manoeuvre past everyone. As we look on the left then, someone's going very slow through turn 2 and manages to catch another car out as well. So we're now up into 16th position, coming up to Christmas corner. Stay on the inside, try and defend the position as much as I can. As you see a guy down on the left hand side almost jumping me, he's still on the left hand side coming into the Zulu section of the layout. But at the minute it's basically like a massive train forming as the guy on the left hand side then is going to try and take 16th away from me. I'm trying to push this car in front of me, he's going very slow through the Zulu layout. Unfortunately I don't manage to keep 16th. Car on the right hand side then spins out, so we are actually back into 16th. But now we've got to try and make some more positions up. Coming through the boot, there's a nice gap on the inside there as I lovingly take it away. But as we come through the last chicane then, is it going to favour us? I'm on the inside as the guy on the left hand side also tries to push the car that I tried to push forward as well. Unfortunately I do lose out then, so we are in 16th position. We have made a couple of positions up and the guy on the left hand side does manage to get past that car as I sort of barge my way through. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you thought that was a good move or not. I was alongside by the time he turned in, so I'm going to see it as a good move. We are into 15th and we are going to go on the inside of this guy in the blue suit. There's a car, Kevin, and another car spanning. So we are now up into 12th position as we come into the Zulu layout on lap 2. A lot has happened already and we know we can make up some more positions. So coming through the Zulu layout then, the guy in the green and black suit is going to go wide coming out the exit and we get a good run on the inside. So that is us now into 11th position as we're trying to follow that guy we're battling with on the first lap as he makes his way up into 9th position as he goes wide again at the last corner. Coming through the chicane then, we have our eyes in on the car ahead as I don't think he knows we're there. He looks on the right hand side but doesn't see us on the left, so we're going to try and attempt to move on the left hand side, but because we know he sort of doesn't know that we're there, we are going to back out of that one. So we do think better of it and we're going to try and get him coming up to Christmas corner. as I dive the kart down on the inside. And once again, there's this kart absolutely everywhere. Coming down the inside then, we're not going to make any positions quite yet, but coming up to the Zulu part of the track, we've made a kart on the left past him. We've passed Hannah on the left hand side, and we're going to try go around the outside of this kart then. Are we going to make it stick? But once again, he just doesn't seem to know that we're there, so he's going to shut the door on us. But if we just speed up the footage then to the start of lap 4, coming through turn 1 and coming through turn 2, using that dry line then, we're going to get a much better exit on the guy on the left hand side. And we also want to try and get this move done on this kart ahead as well in the blue suit. We're going to try attempt around the outside of Christmas corner, but we don't manage to get the move done. But we are going to see ourselves then on the inside coming into Zulu, get the move done, and that is us now up into 7th position absolutely beautifully on lap 4, from 19th to 7th already. But we have a feeling, we know there's a few new moves coming up. But here's where it sort of goes wrong a little bit. Coming through the last corner then on lap 4, I do unfortunately dip my wheels onto the water on the curb on the left hand side. So coming into lap 5, coming through turn 1 and 2, our car is going to get a bit slidey, as our tyres unfortunately do have a bit of water on them. And obviously water and slicks don't really go well together. Can sense the car behind there wants to make a move, so I'll come right on the inside then, coming into Christmas, to go really defensive and hopefully go defensive coming into Zulu. And hopefully he's not going to allow us to pass. We do leave him the racing room, coming into Zulu as well, but luckily we do manage to defend the position, so that is us now solidly into 7th at the moment. So if we skip forward then to lap 6, we have caught up to the crowd ahead, and we've got the guy in the white suit in 6th position, which is exactly what we want to take. So coming out of the last chicane then, the guy sees us then and goes very defensive coming into turn 1, where we are just going to fully commit round the outside of turn 1, which gives us the inside of turn 2 and absolutely rob him of that position. That was a fantastic move to get done. So we're now in 6th position while we can see the cart's head, but the guy in the blue suit behind actually sneaks up on me and tries to take back the position that was his. Yeah, it really took me by surprise. I didn't expect him to be there, but luckily we managed to keep the position. So we skip forward again into lap 8. The guy in another blue suit car ahead goes wide in the last chicane, which I'm going to try go around the outside of turn 1 again, but just don't quite manage to pull it off this time. Around the inside of turn 2, once again, just don't quite pull it off. It did give us the room, but he knows we're there, so he's going to go very defensive then. As we come up into Christmas corner, as our car just has a little bit more speed then, we're going to try around the outside. We're still side by side. It's going to give him the inside coming into this corner, and by the time we get to the Zulu layout, we have managed to keep the position. Fantastic move done round the outside of Christmas, absolutely brilliant. So now we're up into 5th position, and we've caught up to 4th position, who was the guy in the grey helmet and the first couple of laps that we were battling with. So he's also done well to get up the field as he has. We're coming up then to lap 11, so we've got 2 more laps. Of we see a back marker ahead as well, so we're going to see if he's going to play a part in this then. Coming into turn 1 and turn 2, we have caught up to the back marker, but luckily we've both got a much better exit than the back marker out of turn 2. As we come up to Christmas corner, we're not quite close enough to him to try and attack, but we are definitely catching up to him. We know we've got more pace than this kart ahead, as he goes defensively into the Zulu layout, and he's going to leave the gap open here, then coming into Zulu 1, but he just completely shuts the door as I was alongside. Now I feel that's a bit of a dirty move, as he did leave that door open and I was there, but I did think better of it, and I did back out of it, as not happy as I was. He did create that gap then, but we have caught right back up to him coming into the final lap then, and we're going to try and make this move stick. Coming into turn 1, coming into turn 2, we've got a much better exit then. We're going to try to slipstream up to Christmas corner. We're sticking right behind the cars. Unfortunately, I probably should have stayed on the right hand side and took the inside, as he was in the middle of the track, but I do try around the outside of Christmas, try the inside there as he left the gap, but I thought he was going to completely shut it like he did at the last corner, as we get shoved a little bit by the guy behind, but he does acknowledge that it wasn't a clean move, so he does give us the position back. But once again, unfortunately, that does create the gap to 4th position ahead, as he's going very defensively before the boot, as he probably doesn't realise he's got that gap. So we are going to catch right back up to him, as he's going to leave a gap open once again on the final chicane, as he cuts right back in, as we really abuse that curb then, as we are. He's just not quite as quick going through the final corner, but fortunately he is there and he does park it on the apex, which doesn't allow me to get side by side. So it was up into 5th position. What a race, because that was a P2, a P4 and a P5 finish. We do qualify for the A final, and we do qualify for it in 2nd position. So one more race of the evening. Let's see if we can get a trophy. We'll see. I'm not expecting a trophy. The last few races I've already had are great. I don't care what happens this race.
You still got to try and win.
That's right. Just before we get to the final, the guy in first place that should have been on pole actually gets into my car, and I'm actually going to start pole position for this race. Now, I didn't realise this until after the race, but I'll get into that a bit later on. But for the final, I'm actually going to be starting in pole position. So here we go then, starting on the front grid for the A final as the green lights come on. I'll get a much better start from the guy who was meant to be starting in first, but also another car behind gets a really good start and pushes me off the line. No grip, of course, on the stone cold tyres, so we are in first position then through the first couple of corners. Looking behind, seeing where everyone is, it feels I've got a massive pack of wolves behind me, and go very wide then at Christmas corner as I did have to go really defensive. Like I say, with this pack of wolves literally right behind me. So coming into the Zulus then for the first time, I feel like at the minute I'm a bit safer, so I can really attack around this section. So I've got a bit of room to spare. But coming up to the boot then, it is also another overtaking opportunity. Once again, looking behind and going defensive. I don't want to take any risks, and obviously there's no one to catch up to. But I have got people right behind me that are waiting to take first position off me. So we come around the last chicane then for the first time, and that is lap 1 done, and we are still in first place. We skip forward a lap then, so we are now on to lap 3. We're still in first, and once again looking behind, I've still got karts that are right behind me that are waiting to attack. This kart doesn't seem to have very good straight line pace, so unfortunately I can build a little bit of a gap from everyone behind attacking each other. But as soon as we get to the back straight coming up to Christmas, unfortunately that's when the advantage really disappears. However, as we come up to the chicane then for the third time, I'm going to go a little bit wide. It looks like a little bit bumped from behind, but as you'll see, I went onto that final curve, which is still pretty much waterlogged. As we come into turn 1 and turn 2, my car is just going to get a bit sideways then coming into the second corner. But luckily we've got no one behind to fully attack us. So we did, unfortunately that time, actually get away with it. But if we're going to skip forward and lap to lap 5, come on to lap 6, unfortunately I did the exact same thing again, but this time go way more over the curb. So coming into lap 6 through turn 1, once again I'm a bit wary that my car has now got wet tyres. Unfortunately I just can't find the grip and I get done. So that is me down into second place. You can see me shake my head. I'm not really happy with myself for doing that silly mistake. That was the one thing I tried to tell myself, is not go onto that final curve because it is just waterlogged. But we're going to skip forward to lap 7 then. First place now has decided to disappear, and I've still got a pack of karters behind me ready to pounce at any point I make a mistake. So I look on the left then, I've got someone trying to overtake me as I go very wide into Christmas corner. Look on the right, I've got a karter there, so I leave him the space coming into the Zulu section. But luckily by the time I get to the apex, he's pretty much disappeared and take a bit too much exit at the exit of Zulu. So coming into lap 8 then, coming back up to Christmas corner again, looking behind. We're still in second, we've got a kart on the left then, so we're going to skip to the left a little bit just to give me enough room to take as much speed as I can into Christmas corner. Get tapped from behind, as I can tell now everyone's getting impatient behind. Another tap as it sends me very wide onto the exit of the Zulu, coming into the Zulu section. Everyone behind now getting really impatient as we coming up to the boot. Then look on the right, there's a karter there as he's going to try around the outside of the boot. I've momentarily lost second place then as he's on the inside coming into the boot. I managed to just get my car ahead still, but now I'm on the inside coming into the final chicane. Get another massive tap from behind, which luckily didn't send me into the tyre barrier, but somehow avoided that attack, and we're still in second position coming into lap 9. There's a few more laps now. I've got to try and keep these guys behind. It is literally like a pack of wolves just behind me, ready to attacking the like hungry animals. Like I say, look behind. I think at this point now everyone's going defensive with me as well to try and not lose any more positions. I'm guessing there's a lot of karts behind me, all overtaking each other while trying to attack me at the same time as we come through the Zulu section. Then we know we're at a point now where we're not going to get overtaken as much. Lap 11 then, there's 2 more laps remaining. I'm still somehow in second place. Give it the look on the right, see where everybody is, as I'm going very defensive once again, coming up to Christmas corner. It's a shame I don't have a reverse camera to see where everybody is so I can show you how much I'm trying to defend as we're going defensive and into the Zulu section. Once again, we're trying not to do any risks, and we get to a point then where we're not going to get overtaken. Just get to the cam box view, as you'll see in a second why. Coming into the final lap then, coming through turn 1, no more mistakes now, coming through turn 2, we're going very wide, but it's to get as much speed as we can. We look behind and everyone else is attacking each other for that final spot on the podium, so that allows us to go and take the normal racing line then through Christmas corner, so we can try and just at least create a gap in the middle part of the track. Coming through Zulin, and once again no one is attacking at the minute, it's all attacking each other. And for the final half of the lap, we're going to skip to the cam box audio so you can hear what I'm telling myself.
Fucking let's go, boys. Oh my god, it's actually going to happen. It's actually going to happen. Can't mess this corner up, can't mess this corner up.
Defending masterclass.
Oh yes!
Dude, we thought you were having first then.
The only reason why I lost it because I went onto this wet patch.
Yeah, we saw it.
That was the one thing I was trying to tell myself, not to go on that wet patch.
Yeah.
It took me about a whole lap before they even started getting dry again.
You were defending like a boss though, like we could tell. Where you was like going
Oh, I'm
defensive.
shaking. Oh, I didn't think it was going to happen. I'm there. I started believing. I was like, believing. Oh, God, Kevin. Oh, man. Woo!
Have you told him?
So the reason why Kevin said there, have you told him, is if you have a look at the results here, I finished in 4th. Now, as I said at the start, the guy in pole actually got into my kart and everyone else is in their karts. I thought that my kart was kart free, so that's what I got into. So I actually got a curb warning for when I lost first position going way wide into the final corner, and Kevin reckons that I got 3 of them, thinking I got a 5-second penalty. So my mood went from being very happy to get in second place to very angry and upset to realising that I've possibly got penalties. I don't remember getting 3 warnings. I remember getting the 1, but I don't remember getting 3 warnings. But it wasn't until they called out the results that they said kart 3 had got second position, but the guy that was in, should have been effectively in pole, who should have been in kart 3, went and got the trophy. And I was like, hold on a minute, I was in kart 3. So, yeah, anyway, it all got resolved. I got the trophy, as we'll see in a second. But yeah, my mood at this part, I sort of really wish I had the cameras on at this point. As I went from being very happy thinking I got second to thinking it got robbed and into 4th position. Right, YouTube, there we go. Yeah, P2 overall in the A final. I don't know how it happened, but this is probably the sweetest trophy I'm ever going to get for a while. Had to defend in that final like mad. Yeah, the 3 heats as well were absolutely fantastic. A 2nd, a 4th and a 5th, I think. Brilliant night, I don't know how. Kevin got a first.
I got first.
B final. He got the participation trophy award.
I got first though.
Participation trophy
What was your
award.
first?
I got the good race 2nd place.
Yeah, well I got black flag twice.
And let's just see what Hannah's helmet looks like.
The suit looks worse.
Yeah, that's going to need washing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this on YouTube. That Bellin sacked me from the Teams League, so you won't see me in the Teams League.
I am the true helmet Marco.
So that video will be coming way later down in the timeline. But yeah, thank you very much for watching YouTube. Next we've got Team Sport Liverpool to visit, see how that is on the new track. And yeah, we're at Whilton Park to test out the Mazda 2 for the race next month. That's now confirmed. First ever race is going to be on the 19th, 18th of May in the Mazda 2. And yeah, and Yaris out there as well. So a couple of good videos to come up. Hope you enjoyed this from YouTube. And yeah, don't forget to like.
Racing the shitboxes in June.
I'm racing the shitboxes in June, but again, that will start to a bit later on. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this from YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to myself, to Kevin, ktb.nsport,
Need subs, please.
and Super Got Blondie, and I'll see you in the next video.